shooting him over 41 times. 41 times. Let that sink in. Welcome back to Facts Over Feelings, brought to you by Support Our Shields. And these segments are dedicated to people who are bringing hard truth to a world that's full of lies, gaslighting, and propaganda. And today, we're giving credit where it's due to Fraternal Order of Police National Vice President Joe Gamaldi, who didn't hold back in calling out Texas Judge Hilary Unger for her disgraceful decision to set bond for a man accused of murdering a police officer. Joe went in on this activist judge down in Houston, Texas, for her woke judicial foolishness that is an absolute disgrace. And it is burning H-Town down to the ground. And I got to see this in person last year when I visited Houston to honor 2 fallen Harris County deputies. And it was my first time being back there since 2012. And I was shocked to see the difference, and I mean difference in the worst possible scenario. The blight, the homelessness, the open drug use. I literally started to question if I was in Los Angeles or Houston. And the reality is, this isn't bad judgment. This is activism disguised as justice. She's made a habit out of letting violent criminals walk free. But hey, I'm just a private citizen speaking out on the internet. Let's hear from someone who has to deal with the chaos and the fallout from these rogue judges on an everyday basis.
So just help us break this down for us, because it's kind of mind-boggling to think that a judge would grant bail to someone who's accused of killing a cop.
Yeah, well, let's be clear. This judge is an absolute disgrace, and she doesn't even deserve to be called a judge. She's just an activist masquerading as one. I mean, to allow these 2 dirtbags who are charged with viciously ambushing and shooting Deputy Escada over 41 times to make sure they finish the job. I mean, to give these individuals bond is unconscionable. I've never seen anything like it in my 20 years in law enforcement. But as shocking as it is completely on brand for this so-called judge who has made a habit out of letting cold-blooded murderers walk out of her courtroom. She let another monster out on a murder bond who went on to rob a 71-year-old woman and murder her.
As she walked out, someone snatched her purse. That purse snatcher became a killer.
Martha was brutally robbed. Then the thugs ran her over with their car and killed her. One of the guys arrested was Andrew Williams, already out on bond for a different capital murder charge. That's nice. Of course he was, because this is soft on crime madness. The judge who granted that bond, Hilary Unger.
She has as much blood on her hands as Andrew Williams.
If she had a shred of integrity, which I assure you she does not, she would resign in shame for this. Yeah, everyone is familiar with Judge Unger here in Harris County because she has made a habit of letting violent criminals out over and over again, and it completely erodes the trust that law enforcement has in the criminal justice system. But more importantly, it completely violates the trust of the community. How are we expected to investigate cases? How are we expected to get witnesses to come forward if the spineless judge is going to let the suspects right back out on the street before the paperwork's dry? And what this judge is really signaling to the community is that she cares more about her revolving door criminal justice ideology than she does about the community members out in our streets. What it really says is that she doesn't give a damn about police officers. She doesn't care that we put our lives on the line every single day to protect our communities. She doesn't give a damn about the community if you're willing to let murderers out over and over and over again. And you know what? Someone needs to stick a microphone in her face and ask, do you feel a shred of responsibility for the people that you have let out and then have gone on to rob, murder, assault, rape innocent people in our communities? And you know what? She's up for the election in 2026, so the members of Harris County need to make sure they vote her ass out.
Let them know, Joe. Let them know. And he's right. This isn't just shocking. It's a slap in the face to law enforcement. Harris County, are you paying attention? And here's the harsh reality, fam. If judges like this continue to let killers walk, how are communities supposed to feel safe when career criminals are repeatedly slapped on the wrist and let back out into the community to cause more chaos?
In our ongoing series, Breaking Bond, we've been telling you how judges are freeing repeat violent offenders from jail by granting them multiple felony bonds or personal recognizance bond. It's cost more than 130 Harris County residents their lives.
The 138 Harris County residents who died due to the courthouse revolving door include an 83-year-old grandmother, 3 police officers, and 3 unborn children.
Sadly, the majority of the 138 victims of felony bond reform would be classified as people of color and minorities.
Even though there's no court order mandating it, newly elected criminal district court judges took it upon themselves to grant bond to almost all defendants appearing before them, no matter how lengthy their criminal history.
These judges are just letting people off.
2 men who are out of jail, who are free from jail on multiple felony bonds, are now charged with murder.
Here's a dose of reality. When we make it too easy for violent criminals to get back on the streets too quickly, guess what? They commit more crime.
And it hurts me because we have to pay that price now.
Hey, Judge Unger, here at Dolce Vino Consulting, we can count too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those are all the people we know of so far who have gotten killed because of your soft on crime justice.
It's disgusting. Like, how can this be going on?
And you know what? She's up for the election in 2026, so the members of Harris County need to make sure they vote her ass out. Vote her ass out. Vote her ass out.
So Joe Gamaldi, this mic drop is for you. Thank you for your integrity and bravery. Thank you for all the work you do for those who are laying their lives on the line every single day so that people like me can live the American dream. I know that your calling can be a heavy burden on you and your family. Thank you for being willing to stand for truth and being a voice of clarity in a climate of chaos and corruption. And sadly, Judge Unger isn't alone. She's just one of a club of chaotic, corrupt judges that, in my opinion, are intentionally undermining the fabric of our nation.
I've been endorsed by progressive groups that believe in change and reform. I'm the face of reform.
They used the death of George Floyd back in 2020 to give them an excuse to ramp up their cultural Marxist plan of destroying the country from the inside out. And they haven't slowed down. And that's exactly why crime has gotten so much worse, although the mainstream media and every clown the DNC puts on TV will lie to your face and tell you the exact opposite. So here's my challenge to every viewer. Speak up. Share this message. Hold Judge Unger and these other rogue judges accountable. And like Joe said, when election time comes, vote these soft on crime judges out before more innocent lives are lost.
They're supposed to be taking criminals off the streets.
This is up to us. Because you see, we don't just stand with law enforcement. We demand justice for those who can no longer fight for themselves.
They don't care about us. Judges like her, like Hilary Unger, don't care about our lives.
So that's it for today's episode of Facts Over Feelings. If you stand with us and you stand with law enforcement, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this message. We'll be back next time featuring more truth bombs, no matter how uncomfortable that may be. Until then, stay safe. And remember this, if you've been redeemed by the King of Kings If you love this nation and the freedom it brings, then I'm your brother, no matter your color. Remember this, life isn't fair, but God is just. Be blessed. Come on, Joe. I need to see some more.